Good morning.
Morning.
Philip with RTX Honeybees. I've got my friend Alex here. Say hi, Alex.
Hello.
Alex and his friends have come here from college. You'll hear chainsaw going in the background, I'm sure. But Alex decided he wanted to look into the bees with me, so that's what we're going to do. Just give you guys a quick rundown of what we're looking for. There's 19 colonies out here. I'm going to try to get into all of them at some point today. We're going to start out with the singles, just because, you know, those are probably the ones that are most tight for space, and see how they're doing. And then we'll just move to the others. We're checking to see if they're queen right. We want to see, you know, how strong they are, how much brood, whether they have drones in cells or walking. Maybe we'll do a little equalizing if we find really strong ones. If we find swarm cells, then we'll have to deal with that. Thank you guys for coming along. This is position 22. It's a single. One of these two, I'm fairly sure was really light before when I left the last time, but let's just see what we got over here. I see bees in the top. There's some honey. There's some nectar they're bringing in. See that out?
Mm-hmm.
Honey and nectar on that side a little bit. This is not real heavy. There's some pollen. Honey and nectar there. I don't see the queen. And I do not. Set this right here. There's nectar dripping out on the frame, so these bees are on a little bit of a honey flow, and they have gotten much heavier since I was out here last time. That's a really nice. Oh, I don't want to tilt that because the reinforcing is, the string reinforcing has broken, so if I tilt it sideways that's going to break out, so I have to hold it this way. That's pollen and honey. See? Get ready to give them a little smoke. Not too much though, just a light. Okay, now we're in this nice brood. Nice brood, got a little drone brood in this area up here. Down in there I see eggs and where it's emerged. We're going to call that the first frame of brood. Make sure you guys can see that. That's another frame of brood. You see some of those pearly whites in there. Come stand over here on my left, Alex, so you can see stuff as I'm showing it to the camera. See all that brood down in there? The white stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's in the capped ones?
That's larvae that started to pupate, turn into bees. Actually, looks like there might be some that are about to emerge. There's some. This is another one this was back when I used 15-pound fishing line, and the bees will cut it, so it's not really working very good. These seem fairly gentle. It's March the, what was it?
11th.
March the 11th. Now they can hear you, so you can just chime in anytime you want. March 11th, and it's about 63 degrees, but it's headed up into the like 83. See if I can show that to you guys.
Out of curiosity, what are these?
That is drone brood, which that's good to see. That means they're a healthy colony if they're making drones. That means they want to reproduce. Those drones don't reproduce with this colony. They'll reproduce with a different colony.
Okay.
Because there's, you know, they don't want to inbreed, but it's a good sign to see drone brood. I'm not seeing any walking drones out of this colony yet, but those look like they're pretty close to being ready to emerge. I don't see the queen on this one. So we're spending a little more time in this one than probably should. I've already seen eggs, so I know the queen's here, and we got 19 to go through. So, but just thought I'd thumb through these. There's a lot of brood in here, so they do need another box to go on top. And there's not a whole lot yet of honey and resources. There was a little bit on those outside frames. So, box on these. More brood. All right, like I said, we don't have time to spend too much. I'm gonna go out here and see if this is a honey frame on the edge. There's a bee that's decided it's had enough of me in here. I don't know where the weight. Oh, there's the nectar. Wow, look at that. A lot of nectar. So they're bringing in nectar. As long as we don't get a cold snap or a long rainy period, this colony's going to be fine. This was probably the one I was worried about when I left last time. It was really light, and I was regretting not feeding it. So what we're going to do, Alex, on this one, should have brought my notepad. Okay, this has got some nice resources. Full of nectar, pollen, a little bit of capped honey. Same on that side. Now you got here, when the wind's blowing, you got to come over here and let the wind help you.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm going to do, Alex, is we're going to take. We need to find a shim.
You got me good.
Huh? They stung you?
No, he's just stuck in the glove.
But is he stinging those gloves?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Might want to change those gloves out. They don't sting these. Those are black and have some texture. So the stingers in your thing. So the other ones will be trying to come to that too. You need to put some smoke on that. All right. So what I'm going to do.
You got me.
You got through?
Yeah. Took a second.
So, yeah. When I handed you those gloves, those were for work gloves, not for bee gloves. What we're going to do is...
Oh, there's another.
Yeah, I'd get out of those. Okay, what I'm going to do here is show you all how I get the bees to move up and draw out the medium size comb, because I run a 1.5. I run a full bee and a medium above. These bees are really tired of us. So Alex got stung on the hands quite a bit through those work gloves, so we went and changed out of those. But they typically don't like moving up with this, just if you have foundationless or even foundation comb. So what I like to do is to use a 3-inch shim, pull up 2 brood frames, and then put 2 medium frames down in the bottom. They'll immediately pull the ones out and down the bottom, and they'll usually pull the one that's between the 2 that I pull up as well. So that's what we're going to do. I first like to identify which is which so I can easily come back. So I'm going to pull up this one. I'm going to put DP period and DP period. That's deep and deep. Okay, that way I'll know those are the deeps once it's all put together. There's already 2 marked medium here that will drop down. Hopefully a little. Let me check, make sure this is actually brood. Might have marked the wrong one. Yeah, well, that's brood. It's got a lot of drone brood. I'm going to move over. We knew the other one. I'll tell you what, let's do this. I'm going to change my mind a little bit. Scratch that out. I'm going to put deep here. My marker's not working very good. Let's see, it's kind of stinging. Can you smoke them, Alex? There.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not happy with them.
Got another?
All right. Real quickly. You see they're hitting me at the same spot every time. They're not going to stop working that spot. The bees are stinging me right here repeatedly because they've marked me. Where that's the spot they want to work on. So I've gotten hit about 2 or 3 times in that one spot.
I'm not happy right now.
Yeah, we pushed our luck. Stayed in them too long. Okay. Now we'll drop these mediums down in there. So now we'll know they're marked medium. In 2 weeks, I'll pull these back up and drop those deeps back down to the bottom. They don't like for their brood to be interrupted. I don't think we're going to have real low temperatures, so they'll be able to take care of their brood. Not to mention, we're putting foundationless frames in there. If we had plastic foundation frames, that would physically block them from being able to get over and warm their brood. We're not physically blocking these because these frames are open until they pull comb into them. All right, we're putting these girls back together. I have plenty of drawn comb that I could give them, and that's ideal. But I'm trying to reserve as much drawn comb as I can for honey and not brood nest. Uh-oh. Go get the shim. I thought the shim would come with it. It didn't. Bring it over and just set it on top of there. The shim goes on because that makes up the difference between the deep and the medium. And this goes on. Now, if we leave this on here too long, they'll start drawing comb off the bottom of all those mediums, and we don't want that. But for about 2 to 3 weeks, you're generally okay. And if they do draw it on there, we'll just scrape it off. Scrape this propolis off. All right, that's that.
Action.
Alex and I have looked into 4 colonies. We're sorry we didn't bring you guys along, but we wanted to cover a little bit of ground. But we got over to this one, which is actually a single deep. This is a feeder shim. There's no comb up here. It's got a feeder jar in it. This colony's been really, really strong. So rather than put a medium on top of this one, we're going to put a deep box because I want to prepare it for resources for splits. We've got 6 drawn combs and we've got 4 empty foundations. So the ones in the middle are drawn, the ones on the outside are empty. Hopefully they're so strong, you'll see when I open this lid how strong they are. They'll immediately come up here and start working. I will do a little bit of work down in these to make sure they're queen right. I probably need to look for swarm cells because they're so populated. If anybody's got swarm cells, it'll be these guys. All right, have a look in there, Alex. So this feeder jar has been on here for 3 weeks. It does not have any food in it. There's just not enough room for bees in here. I guess I need the smoker, don't I, Alex? Let me get the smoker. So far, they're not too feisty. These have been some of my more feisty bees. Let's just see what we got. I don't think the queen would be hanging out up here, but probably shouldn't have smoked those down until you guys got a chance. There's a hive beetle. See it? Get out of the way. I'll help you kill him. Yeah, these are packed out. There's no queen there. Yeah, I've got 10 frames of bees easy. So all I want to do, check these. Well, I can't imagine how they could not be queen right. There's a bee taking out a dead bee. It's called a mortician bee. That's brand new fresh comb. They're drawing it as drone brood because it's on the outside edge, which is fine. We like drones. If the queen, and you can see this right here, it's called festooning. They're actively building comb when they're linked together like that. All right, I'm just going to carefully set these down, Alex. If they crawl on the outside, they crawl on the outside. I really want more smoke here. I'm going to go straight to the middle, and I'm not going to pull any. I probably should pull a couple of frames up. Well, let me think about that. It helps them to move up quicker if we can pull a couple of frames up. That's a beautiful brood pattern. Alex and I still haven't seen a queen today, so that would be a nice treat for our YouTube people if we could see a queen. There's plenty of cap brood. In the middle of that, I'm seeing. Fall down. Yeah, there's some really young brood. I'm not going to go as far as say I see eggs for sure, but I can see brood that's not more than 2 or 3 days old, 2 or 3 days hatched. And that was only the 4th frame in. There's a couple more. I didn't smoke this time, so just have a look and see. Really nice brood pattern. This colony made a good bit of honey in the fall. Smoking brood. All right, so what I'm going to do, I like to keep that one. I'm going to bring up 4 and 6. And then I'm going to give 4 and 6. This is drawn. It's pretty old, nasty stuff, but it'll be all right. Give her somewhere to lay, and they'll clean it up. I'll bring up 4 and 6. And give her empty comb in the bottom. That'll do 2 things. It'll get them to move up quicker because they'll come up to take care of this brood. I'm just getting stung on the wrist. Here's some video of that, Alex. I don't have time to smoke it. I can't drop them. Oh, that's a nice one to bring up. It's got some open brood on it. All right, we'll put that here. She'll come right up and take care of that, I think. In this one, I'm not as concerned about drawing comb. In the second one, I'm concerned about them bringing up resources. Because I want to use these bees when I make my splits for resources. Not for queen breeding purposes. This queen's great, but these gals are a little hotter than I like to see. That's about the 4th or 5th sting I've taken on that wrist. I'm probably going to be. So that's the one I just put in there, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so now we're going to pull this one out. Bring it up. I'm not seeing drones in this colony, Alex. Not that we're really digging deep into them.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple of them back there, we saw a couple of drones. 3, I think. It's not very many, and they appeared to be very young and fuzzy. All right. That's that. Let me put their outside frame back in. One thing I forgot to do, Alex, was lift these guys up and see if they had any weight. They were light. I wouldn't have been feeding them if they weren't light already. Yes. You know, since we are dealing with broods, if we're dealing with brood comb here, I'm not worried about. There they go. You see that? That's what you call an attack. Let's see if we can get this done quick as possible. That's what these gals are known for. There's a video of me pulling honey when they're just bouncing off of me. Real carefully there. All right. This box really needs to be replaced, but we're going to wait a little while. This is last year's queen. She's relatively young. Hopefully we've given her enough space she won't take off and hit the trees before she fills all this up. That wasn't as bad as I thought, Alex. I got the video ready, not just because we did something different, but because I kind of halfway expected to get lit up. I got stung once and it didn't really come at me that much.
I feel like one of the earlier hives was a little bit more angry than they were.
Yeah. It really just depends on the day. You want to go down there? You kind of march them to the hole there. Come on. You know where to go. There's the march. See, this one is fanning its nasing off. See that little white speck on the end of its tail there? Between the first and second segment. It's fanning its nasing off gland, saying, hey, we found the colony. This is where you want to go. They're communicating with each other.
Pretty cool.
All right, closing them back up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we finally found a queen on this, and these are actually really nice, well-behaved bees. So Alex is going to pan that, and we're going to give you guys a minute, and then just kind of stop whenever you see her, Alex, and then we'll see how long it takes and see if they can find her. All right, zoom right in on her now. There she is.